Good afternoon, everyone. At the outset, I, on behalf of Powergrid Unchaha Transmission Limited, the investment manager to PG InvIT, would like to wish you all a happy and prosperous new year. I express my gratitude for your trust in PG InvIT, and I would also like to thank all participants for sparing the valuable time and joining this call. I have with me Mr. Purushottam Agarwal, Director PUTL, Mr. Sanjay Sharma, CEO PUTL, Mr. Amit Garg, CFO PUTL, and other senior officials. On January 24, 2024, PG InvIT announced its unaudited financial results for the quarter and 9 months period ended December 31, 2023, and distribution for the quarter ended December 31, 2023, which have been disclosed on both the stock exchanges. The Quarter 3 Financial 2024 results presentation for PG InvIT is available on our website. In the interest of time, I will provide a brief overview of the results. The trust has been consistently witnessing an expansion in its unit holder base, particularly individual unit holders, which has increased from less than 15,000 unit holders at the time of listing to over 1.41 lakh unit holders as of December 31, 2023. I extend our thanks to our diverse investors for their trust and confidence in PG InvIT. For the benefit of our new unit holders, I would like to introduce the trust. PG InvIT is an infrastructure investment trust with Powergrid Corporation of India Limited, a Maharatna CPSE, and India's largest power transmission utility as its sponsor and the project manager. Powergrid Unchaha Transmission Limited, a 100% subsidiary of Powergrid, is its investment manager, and IDBI Trusteeship Service is the trustee. PG InvIT currently owns 5 power transmission SPVs comprising 100% equity shareholding in Vizag Transmission Limited and 74% in each of the other 4 SPVs, namely Powergrid Kalaam Transmission Limited, Powergrid Purli Transmission Limited, Powergrid Baroda Transmission Limited, and Powergrid Jabalpur Transmission Limited. These 5 SPVs are operational ISTS TBCB projects comprising 11 transmission lines with a network of about 3,699 circuit kilometers and 3 substations with 6,630 MVA transformation capacity. The transmission service agreements associated with these projects have an average remaining life of over 29 years. PG InvIT provides a unique value proposition of AAA, that is, assets, assurance and advantage, to its investors, and leveraging these, it aims to provide consistent, stable and visible returns to its unit holders. Now coming to the distribution part, I would like to begin with the distribution for the quarter ending December 31, 2023. We have declared a distribution of rupees 3.00 per unit to the unit holders, and the record date for the distribution is January 30th, 2024, and the payment of distribution will be made on or before Thursday, February 8th, 2024. This marks the Trust's 3rd distribution for fiscal 2024 and the 10th consecutive distribution since our listing in May 21. Including the recently declared distribution, PG InvIT's cumulative distribution since its listing now exceeds rupees 28.67 billion. You may recall that for FY22, we distributed rupees 10.5 per unit to unit holders for the operational period of the trust from May 13th, 2021 to 31st March 2022, which was followed by an aggregate distribution of rupees 12 per unit for FY23, which was made to the unit holders. For the 3 quarters of fiscal 2024, a distribution of rupees 9 per unit has been declared so far. Our distributions, including the latest rupees 3 per unit, are in line with our distribution policy and SEBI regulations, which stipulate that not less than 90% of NDCF to be distributed to unit holders. I would like to reiterate that as per our distribution policy, the distributions shall be declared and made not less than once every quarter. Before taking up the operational highlights, on behalf of the management, I would like to remember Shri Onkarappa KN, who passed away on the night of December 12, 2023. Late Shri Onkarappa was appointed as an independent director on the board of Powergrid Uchaha Transmission Limited, the investment manager to PG Invit, White order dated February 10, 2022 of the Ministry of Power, Government of India on February 10, 2022. His tenure was marked by dedication and commitment, and his demise leaves a void that will be profoundly felt. Now coming to the highlights for the quarter and 9 months period ended December 31, 2023. As far as the operations part is concerned, during the period April to December 23, the monthly availability of each of the SPVs exceeded the target availability, reinforcing efficient operational performance with reliability. On a per SPV basis, the average availability has exceeded 99.75% over the 9-month period concluding on December 31, 2023. It is important to note that the data for Q3 FY24 is provisional, as the monthly availability certificates for most SPVs from October 2023 to December 2023 are yet to be issued by the respective regional power committees. Our project manager, that is Powergrid, ensured efficient operation and maintenance of assets, adhering to safety protocols, and no accidents were reported throughout the quarter. Keeping in mind our thrust on sustainable operations, various activities like fire and safety drills and training programs were held for the team. I would now provide an update on the implementation of bus reactor at Kalam substation by PKATL under regulated tariff mechanism. The project is under advanced stage of implementation and is envisaged to be commissioned in this fiscal. Being an RTM project, its tariff will be decided by the regulator, CERC, in accordance with the applicable tariff regulations. I am also pleased to inform that another of our SPVs, Powergrid Purley Transmission Limited, has been assigned a new project under regulated tariff mechanism, that is, the implementation of a 400 kV line bay, facilitating the interconnection of a renewable energy project. The estimated cost of the project as per CTO office memorandum is Rs 18 crore. The scheduled date of commissioning for this project is set for December 31, 2025. Upon commissioning, this project would be entitled for tariff as decided by the regulator CERC in accordance with applicable tariff regulations. It may be mentioned that CERC has issued draft tariff regulations for the 5-year period 2024 to 2029, and the final regulations are likely to be finalized by March 2023. By March 2024. Financial highlights now. During the current financial year, total income on a consolidated basis for the quarter ended December 31, 2023 was about rupees 3,293.48 million, which included rupees 3,192.48 million of revenue from operations and rupees 101 million of other income. The other income is mainly on account of interest earned on the deposits and surcharge income. Total expenses for the quarter at the consolidated level stood at about rupees 1,109.79 million. Total income and expenses, excluding impairment, for the 9 months period ended December 31, 2023, stood at rupees 9,760.41 million and rupees 3,412.17 million respectively. The net distributable cash flows, that is NDCFs, computed at the SPV level are included in the consolidated financial results made public on the stock exchanges. These cash flows from the SPVs comprise of interest income, dividend income, and repayment of SPV debt. As of December 31, 2023, over 90% of the NDCFs from the SPVs have been upstreamed to PG InvIT, aligning with both InvIT regulations and the trust distribution policy. The NDCF of PG InvIT for the quarter ended December 31, 2023 works out to be rupees 2,695.46 million. For the 9 months period ended December 31, 2023, the trust NDCF was rupees 8,040.6 million. The trust has announced a distribution of rupees 3 per unit, which comprises of interest component of rupees 1.97, taxable dividend component of rupees 0.39, exempt dividend component of rupees 0.16, repayment of SPV debt of rupees 0.47, and treasury income of rupees 0.01. For this fiscal, this takes our aggregate distribution to rupees 9 per unit. With this distribution, we have collectively disbursed and declared a total of rupees 31.5 per unit to our unit holders since our listing in May 21. As on December 31, 2023, PG InvIT had an external borrowing of rupees 5,705.5 million. The loan, as informed earlier, is a floating rate loan linked to 3 months T-bill and was raised from HDFC Bank in March 21 to part finance the acquisitions. The trust continues to enjoy highest credit ratings, AAA, with stable outlook from all the 3 rating agencies, namely ICRA Limited, CRISIL Ratings, and CARE Ratings. The bill trade receivables as on December 31, 2023 stood at rupees 2,042.68 million, equivalent to 59 days of billing. Now coming to the outlook part, PG InvIT, through its investment manager, approached Powergrid, our sponsor, for acquiring balanced 26% equity shareholding held by it in Powergrid Kalam Transmission Limited, Powergrid Parli Transmission Limited, Powergrid Baroda Transmission Limited, and Powergrid Jabalpur Transmission Limited, which have completed 5 years of commercial operation. It has been informed by the sponsor that the transfer is not envisaged in the current fiscal. Accordingly, the investment manager will again approach the sponsor in fiscal 2025. Further, while we are keen on evaluating acquisition opportunities from private developers, the availability of operational ISTS transmission assets at this stage is minimal, and we expect the same to pick up pace in 12 to 18 months as and when the assets under development gets commissioned and complete their mandatory operational history for acquisition by an InvIT. We are also under discussion with some states for monetization of the transmission line infrastructure based on the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Power, Government of India. Due to the novelty of the process and the sensitivity of the subject, we assume that monetization by states will take some time before it comes to fruition. We believe that monetization of power transmission by states has a huge potential considering availability of operational assets and states' need for funds for building new infra. PG InvIT, owing to its substantial headroom for acquiring new assets through debt and being an established investment vehicle established by Powergrid, is placed in an advantageous position due to anticipated shorter turnaround time in achieving the targeted monetization with an existing pool of investors. We would like to reiterate that all assets proposed for acquisition will be evaluated for their suitability to PG InvIT on the basis of the operational history in accordance with InvIT regulations, compliances with InvIT regulations and statutory requirements, and keeping in mind the overall interest of unit holders. Now coming to the guidance, we continue to maintain a distribution guidance of rupees 12 per unit for financial year 2023-24. Thank you, and now I would like to hand over to the moderator for further proceedings.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad and wait for your turn to ask the question. If you would like to withdraw your request, you may do so by pressing star and 1 again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please press star and one on your telephone keypad. First question comes from Vipul Kumar Shah from Sumangal Investments. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. What is the guidance for next year, sir? Distribution guidance, since we are dipping into our cash reserves every quarter. So are we going to reduce the distribution from next fiscal? Some clarity will be.
I think it's better you'll be hearing this during our investor call, your call for the complete financial year, and after 3 or 4 months.
Oh, so there is no clarity for next year's distribution, right, sir?
I mean, it's better to give that call at that time.
So, how much we have dipped into reserves for this 9 months to maintain this distribution?
Nothing much. We have not dipped a significant amount from the point where we started the InvIT from. So, the guidance per se, as Chairman sir indicated, it will be appropriate to have a dialogue at that point in time when we will be, inviting the call for the annual results. That time there will be more clarity and we can talk about it, sir.
No, I am asking about the dip into the reserves for 9 months. I'm not guidance part. I have understood, sir.
Sir, the reserves since we begin the InvIT from May 2021 till 31st of December 23, there has not been any major dip in the cash position per se. What has been done is only the dividend has been upstreamed more because these SPVs were having the opening reserves, the book reserves. And as per the Companies Act, the dividend can be declared out of the profit for the period and the opening reserves. So the component has changed or will change. The component, thereby I mean, is the interest, principal repayment and dividend. The mix of these three will change over the time period and has changed this year vis-a-vis the last year. But on cash-to-cash basis, there has not been any major dip into the reserves. And more so, sir, kindly bear into the mind that this year we have invested in one of the RTM projects awarded to one of our SPVs, Kalam, which was also funded through the internal resources of that particular SPV, wherein, we were required to maintain a debt equity of 70-30. So the equity portion was funded through the internal accruals of that Kalam Transmission Limited. And the debt portion has been funded by PG InvIT through the internal accruals generated by the other SPVs. So, if you consider the funding done, net on net, there has not been any major dip into the cash which has been used for the purpose of making the distribution.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you. Next question comes from Saurav Agarwal from Avendus Wealth Management. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you for the opportunity. I just had one question. What is the net asset value of the Powergrid InvIT as latest?
Sir, actually the asset value, net asset value is dependent upon the valuation done by an independent valuer. So as on the, we are not mandated to get the valuation done for September, since those are not required as per the InvIT regulation, as our loan portfolio is not above 48%. So for the period ended September 23, the enterprise value was 85.90 billion. Again, it will be changing based upon the latest valuation which will be conducted for the March 31st, 24 numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please press star and one on your telephone keypad. Next question comes from Ravi Chandra, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. I think we as individual investors always have that fear that will we be able to maintain the DPU level. That's the reason I think investors are jittery about that one. Today's call, you have given some confidence to the investors that 2 projects started. I think more and more acquisition will be the good for the confidence level bringing back into the investors. Now my question is, how much headroom we are having to increase our asset? I think we have now around 8 to 9 million asset, 8,000 crores asset. So how much more we can add with the available? I think 70% is the debt allowed as per the... Yeah. Thank you, sir.
We have enough headroom right now because debt what we have taken is significantly less as we have been as compared to the mandated what we can. So still the headroom of 15,000 to 16,000 crores of debt we can still take for the future projects. Without
so as interest rate goes down, we are expecting to happen in next financial year, I think more acquisition will give more confidence to us, sir, to have more and more investment into this. Thank you, sir.
We also would like the same.
I think we always...
because in the last con call, there is one answer from the management is very jittery among the investors. That is, we are not sure what will happen next financial year. It will go down because as per the valuation report, by 2027, the revenue will come down. So to compensate that, acquisition is very important. So I know and confident about management. Thank you.
Just to add further to this, I think the last time also the management mentioned the same thing, and we would like to reiterate that as you are thinking of maintaining the DPU, the only way to maintain DPU is through acquisitions. And if the acquisitions do not come through, then the DPU would certainly be affected. And the constraints around acquisitions were adequately shared. See, we have informed that the assets currently available in power transmission are very minimal, and they are not available for monetization because they are either under construction or with the developers who may not be looking at monetizing them. So unless new assets come up, they get completed, they get commissioned, they have complete 1 year of operational history, the acquisition opportunities would not be available. So we are expecting it to happen in 18 to 24 months or so.
I think Powergrid also told the same thing. They are expecting to complete more project in 18 months' time. So we hope for the best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Kalpesh, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. My query was related to the NAV, which has been partially answered. So you mentioned that the enterprise value is at around 85 billion. Is it possible for you to tell at the per unit level how much is the NAV, and if that can be made as a part of our standard presentation?
No, I mean, those were the NAV was the part of the financial results which were published. So for September 30th, 2023, it was 85.99 on per unit basis. Having said that, that was the position as on 30th of September because the valuation for December was not mandated and not got conducted.
Right. So this 85.99 is per unit, you are saying?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
It is net asset value per unit. It is 85 rupees 99 odd paise.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question comes from Kharaj Raj from King's Agencies. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
I have like two short questions. One is regarding the distribution from our reserves. So last year we had a significant impairment in investments, right? Impairment in investments, which was like reduced our asset value significantly after distribution. So even in the last con call, it was requested, like we have a special column where it mentions that this percentage has been given from reserves or opening cash, as you like to call it. and it was still not available in this time financial report. And the second thing is there is never a text version of this concall uploaded in the PG site. I waited the whole quarter, even the last quarter, only the text, the whole MP3 was there. There is no PDF file, with the transcription of the concall. So I would request that to be done. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll take the second question first. As regarding the call of the transcript of the call available after the last quarter's call, the same was made available on the website, both in MP3 form as well as on the PDF version. It is still available on the company's website, sir. I would request you to kindly visit the section. And this was again at the request of the unit holder that we have done it. Though the regulations as such, they do not mandate it. And regarding the distribution from reserves, we would just like you to see the recent NDCF of PG InvIT. We just announced that this is 269.5 odd crores, whereas the total distribution that we have made is 273 crores. So this is the difference. That's a very insignificant amount that you can see that has been dipped from outside this NDCF of PG InvIT.
I understand, but it's like every quarter, rather than have it, use a calculator, we could have had it. It all adds up, right? Okay, thank you. Anyways.
Okay, and regarding impairment, I'll ask my CFO, Mr. Amit, to address the usual query every time.
Yeah, the impairment which was made part of the financials were based upon the requirements of the Indian accounting standards. And it was a book entry. It does not have any impact on the cash flows. So, you must have noticed a reversal in the impairment. And it is basically...
10,000 million or something got removed, right? Only 1,000 has been reduced back. Only not even 10%.
Obviously, it is a function of the future cash flows discounted by the discount rate. Now,
right.
Last year there was a huge market and the equity market, so the discount rate, the VAT per se, got a hit and it increased a lot. So the cooling off has been gradual. Accordingly, the reversal has been passed upon. It is too optimistic to presume or to say that the will be done in near future. So that time is still some time away.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. We have a follow-up question from Vipul Kumar Shah from Sumangal Investments. Please go ahead.
So when this new projects which we have won will become operational, and how much it will add to the asset base?
One of the projects is likely to be commissioned very shortly, and this project, the anticipated cost would be in the range around 30 to 40 crores, and since it will be a tariff, will be decided by the CRC regulator.
That's the only addition in near future?
This is the immediate future you can see. And the other project that we have announced that we received only on the 2nd of January this year, this particular project, it is required to be completed as per the timelines of the CTU by 31st December 2025. So it is still some time to go for it. It's a small project of 18 crores. And these are tentative costs by the CTU. The real cost will depend upon the final awarded value that when we undergo the tendering process.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Nilesh Doshi from Prospero Tree. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Please continue.
Yeah. Sir, I had 2-3 questions. One is regarding the revenue. See, sir, the revenue is the function of volume and value. In our case, the volume is the availability of the assets, and the value is the tariff, predetermined tariff. So my question is the tariff predetermined for the lifetime of the asset, or every year it is renegotiated? Is there any inflation clause, or it will reduce over a period of time?
No, the tariff is already fixed for the future life of the project. It is never renegotiated. Whatever tariff was quoted at the beginning when the project was taken by Powergrid, our sponsor, that is remaining fixed for the future balance life of the period.
So it means suppose for the financial year 22, if the revenue per unit the transmit is rupees 5, then it will remain rupees 5 per unit for the lifetime, or it will be 5, 490, 480, is like that, or rupees 5 fixed for the lifetime?
No, Mr. Nilesh, this is not related to per unit transmission, is not billed on per unit basis. Just to help you understand the transmission business, it is not done on the first premise that you had, that it is volume into volume and rate. Here, there is a tariff and the availability. So the tariff is decided, as sir mentioned, upfront for 35 years. So in these projects, all the 5 assets that we have, for each of the 35 years, there is a number that has already been quoted. So this is the annual tariff that you will get for that particular year for for that asset. This is no per unit. Now,
but sir, that number is fixed, or will it reduce, or will it?
Okay, so now this number is fixed for that particular year. Going forward, this number reduces. So, for example, as we mentioned last time also, there would be a dip around 27, 28. There would be a dip because that is how the original tariffs were bid. The project.
So, sir, I understand. Over a period of time, it will reduce as per the predetermined rate. Okay, that's fine. But in that case, suppose we don't add any further asset, then the revenue will fall over a period of time, and then in that case, the PG unit cannot maintain the DPU of rupees 12, which is provided in the FY24. Is that understanding correct?
Yes, it's absolutely correct.
So, sir, the other InvIT, listed InvIT, say IndiGrid, which is finding the new opportunity of acquisition, though the interest rate is high, the other, say our sponsor is the Powergrid, and we are not finding any asset to acquire. Is that the case? Because in last 3 years, once the public issue has come, we have not added any asset, or not added any operational asset. So, what is the problem, sir? Is the interest rate is the problem, or non-availability of the asset?
The problem is not the interest rate. The problem is the non-availability of the assets, as we have highlighted a number of times.
So are we looking for the asset from the Powergrid only, or from the private player, or other player also?
We are looking at the assets not only from Powergrid. As and when Powergrid undertakes monetization, we would definitely evaluate and we would be there for it. Now, apart from that, we are also looking at assets outside Powergrid, whatever they are coming. For that, we have always mentioned that currently such assets, availability of such assets is very minimal. And then the government has also asked the states to monetize their transmission assets. So we are also interacting with some states and helping them understand the product, helping them look at monetizing their assets, and that would also create some kind of opportunity going forward.
Okay. And sir, what was the level of debt at the time of the public issue and currently? And out of that debt, whatever the debt raised post the public issue, how it is used? Is it used for the acquisition, capex, or for the dividend distribution?
At the time of issue, there was no debt. After that, we have raised 575 crore for acquisition of 26% of equity holding in Powergrid Vizag Transmission Limited. So the entire debt, 575 crore, was used for the capex purpose, acquisition purpose.
So, sir, there are the 4 more assets in which we can further acquire 26%. Will it be a revenue and DPU accretive, or will it increase the distribution per unit? Suppose we acquire the further 26% in all the other 4 SPV through the debt, will it raise our DPU?
Sir, we don't feel that in financial term it will be making much of a difference. The reason is that out of those 4 SPVs in which Powergrid currently holds 26%, the component of only dividend is flowing back to Powergrid, which we will be acquiring. So if you see this quarter's distribution, 39 paisa out of rupees 3 was on account of the taxable dividend which was upstream or got maneuvered from these 4 SPVs. Now you consider a situation that as and when we acquire this dividend stream from Powergrid, we would be required to raise the loan to make this acquisition, which again will call for the interest outflow as well as capital repayments. So on financial terms, there will not be any significant uptick which we foresee. However, from the operational perspective, we aim to acquire in terms of the share purchase agreement.
Okay. So it will improve the operational smoothness, then the financial, it will not increase the financial benefit, but the operational smoothness will be accrued by acquiring the further 26%. Is it correct, sir?
The whole is always better than the partner, sir. So we intend to acquire the 100% in line with the share purchase agreement, but on the financial front, we don't foresee any major uptick.
Yeah.
Or sir, in case interest rate increase further, so will our NAV will further reduce because of the discount rate increase?
I didn't get you, sir.
No, NAV.
Will NAV get further reduced?
No, there would not be any impact on the NAV.
With this acquisition. Yeah.
No, I'm asking, suppose the interest rate further increase, say currently the interest rate is 7 to 9% in the bracket of 7 to 9%. And if the interest rate further increase, will it reduce the NAV because the discount rate will further increase?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. But it's a non-financial item only. And suppose the interest rate reduce, then NAV will increase.
Yes.
But it is not affecting the cash flows.
Yes, sir. Agree, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. There are no further questions. Now I hand over the floor to management for closing comments.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohit and your team, and thanks again to all the participants for attending this call. It is always very heartening to see good participation in PG Invest's earnings calls, and today was no different. Our vision for PG Invest is to achieve a focused business model with operational efficiency to enhance returns, value accretive growth through acquisitions and an efficient capital structure in order to provide consistent, stable and visible returns to our unit holders. Thank you once again, and we look forward to your continued support and confidence in PG Invest. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your conference for today. Thank you for your participation and for using Doorsabha's conference call service. You may disconnect your lines now. Thank you and have a good day.